Welcome to another episode of Follow the Brand TV. I am your host, Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM, a 5-star personal brand and business development company. I want to take you on a journey through another deep dive into the world of personal branding and business development using compelling personal stories, business conversations, and tips to improve your brand. By listening to the Follow the Brand TV series, you will differentiate yourself from the competition and build trust with prospective clients and employers. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Make it one that will set you apart, build confidence, and reflect who you are. Building your 5-star personal brand is a great way to improve your skills and knowledge. If you have any questions for me or any of my guests, please email me at grant.mcgaugh@5starbdm.com. Now, let's begin with our next episode on the Follow the Brand TV.
Five-Star BDM, Brand Development Masters, is a professional consulting and advisory group keenly focused on business development services for the small to mid-sized business and entrepreneurs. Although every business is unique, they often share business development challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. Services include process improvement and operations, digital strategy and transformation, business intelligence, digital marketing, and personal branding. Our business and personal branding company has helped a number of professionals and organizations to optimize and grow. This results in more business, more opportunities, better reach, positive outcomes. Visit www.5starbdm.com today to learn more.
I've had the opportunity to serve large academic health systems to private not-for-profit health systems. But what hasn't changed, Grant, is the focus on the people. So my story is one of accountability, putting people first, building strong physician relationships, and making sure that our organization is effective and stable and successful so we can serve our community and support our staff to be successful and achieve their personal and professional goals as well. For those that are listening in the healthcare field, look to make a difference and look around and make sure you're having an impact on those you serve. Take the initiative, go outside the four walls of your organization. Don't just wait until they get sick and they need us. Go out and see what you can do to learn about the organization and be a strong partner to the community and the people in the community.
Welcome everybody to the Follow Brand Podcast. We are going to take it all the way up to Jacksonville, Florida. You know, I'm in South Florida and I love my people in North Florida. First time I went up there, I was at the time president of the National Association of Health Services Executives in Florida. At the time it was South Florida, but when I went to Jacksonville, I saw a giant need because they were not represented at that time at a chapter level, and the vibrancy and the people that were there, they welcomed me in so much that we started to look at this from a statewide perspective. And from that time, this was back in 2018, 2019, here we are in 2023, we have a vibrant community that includes Jacksonville, it includes the University of Florida Health, and today we have their CEO on our podcast to talk about things around executive presence. So, Patrick Green, would you like to introduce yourself?
Good morning, Grant. Thank you. And I'm excited to be with you today. As you said, I'm privileged to serve as the CEO of UF Health Jacksonville. And I've been in the organization for about 5 months. And Northeast Florida has been phenomenal. And I look forward to spending time with you today and talking about executive presence, as well as what we are doing to serve this great community.
Excellent. Well, so let's jump right in. So you're new to the community, I believe. You're coming from other locations. You've had a wealth of experiences and successes. Tell us a little bit about the Patrick Green story.
Well, my story is one that has been very fortunate to work in several different markets, from Seattle, Washington to Denver to Connecticut, and now in Jacksonville, Florida. I've had the opportunity to serve large academic health systems to private not-for-profit health systems. But what hasn't changed, Grant, is the focus on the people. And I pride myself on being a servant leader and focusing on the people. A lot of times when you look at the table of organization, people see the CEO on that top of that chart, right? Which I'm blessed and privileged to have that role. But I like to turn the organizational chart upside down, where I'm serving the people of the organization. I believe my role is to report to 5,000 of the folks that work for UF Health Jacksonville. And then you spread that out into the community. So my story is one of accountability, putting people first, building strong physician relationships, and making sure that our organization is effective and stable and successful, so we can serve our community and support our staff to be successful and achieve their personal and professional goals as well.
And I love the mindset. That shows me your viewpoint, your philosophy. And we're talking about executive presence today. You exude that. We just had an opportunity to meet each other, I think, for the first time here at the NAHSE Executive Leadership Forum. You were there with about 3 or 4 other executives around the state. And what stood out for me when talking to you was your mannerism and the relaxed state that I can see that you're in. It shows me that you are a bookshelf of knowledge. Like you really understand the healthcare market, and you truly understand individuals, specifically those that were in that particular forum, that they're looking to take that next step forward. They're either in a managerial role, or maybe they're an executive director, but they want to understand the lens from the CEO perspective of how you see things and how you interact with the staff to get the results that you're looking for. Can you give us a little bit more insight in those areas?
Absolutely. And I think, building off of what I said earlier, it starts with the people. And, I often say we're in the people business. We're not making automobiles, or in Silicon Valley, in the tech world, even though we leverage technology to advance the care we provide. But we're in the people business. So my job is to put the people first. Obviously, it starts with our patients, but also caring for the people who care for our patients, if you will. So what I try to do every opportunity is get to know the people and ask and give them the opportunity to get to know me, how I think, how I make decisions, create clarity about where we're going, and focusing on the why, making sure I understand what they need to be successful, and then organize a team and a strategy to make sure that everyone knows that we're not going to settle, and we're going to make sure that we are providing the best possible care while creating a culture of excellence and a purpose-driven organization, and really, really having a believability mindset that if we put our mind to it and we provide the strategy, we provide the resources, there's no reason why we can't achieve 100% of our goals. And that's a high bar, but I believe in really trying to be a Category 1 organization, and that's how we approach that every single day, Grant.
Man, well, I know you've got your criteria when you're building out your team, right? So they're going to be on board with your vision and the vision of the health system. Now, this is a twofold question, but because my curiosity is up, because you were honored by the NAACP. You've got a nice storied background. Why did you choose Jacksonville as your next step in your career trajectory, and where do you see that going from here?
Well, I tell you, Jacksonville, UF Health Jacksonville is a special place, and I've watched it from afar for many years, looking at some of my predecessors, and they are a strong brand in the region. And when I got the call, it was something that was very intriguing. And then when I got the opportunity to meet the people of UF Health Jacksonville, our board, our president of our health system, and the UF Health Jacksonville team, it was very compelling. And the opportunity to grow UF Health and the commitment to growing Jacksonville from Southeast Georgia, UF Health Jacksonville from Southeast Georgia, working with our colleagues in Gainesville as well as St. Johns County, as well in the community. The community is extraordinarily supportive of our organization because we are a safety net organization, and we are one of the most valuable assets in the city of Jacksonville. And having the opportunity to lead this organization and craft the future of UF Health Jacksonville was something that I had to jump on. And so we have a lot of work to do here. So my mindset is really focusing on continue to build off of the rich history of UF Health Jacksonville and making sure we are in a position to be the most trusted healthcare provider in this region. So I would say the people, the strategy, our board, our organization, and what we are planning to do to serve this community, I'm excited to be here.
The UF Health North Medical Campus is growing with North Jacksonville. Construction on a second hospital building is underway and scheduled to be completed in spring 2024. Expanded patient care services will include inpatient rehabilitation and a larger emergency department. More than double the number of patient rooms are being built to accommodate the expanding population in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. UF Health North offers all private patient rooms and will have 2 dedicated floors for occupational, physical, and speech therapy. Whether a patient is seeking routine well care or more advanced treatments, they can find a specialist here to meet their healthcare needs. Outpatient lab and diagnostic services are available on site, as well as advanced imaging and a wide range of surgical services. Visit ufhealthnorth.org to make an appointment.
Authored 2 books. One is on revenue cycle management, which is all of the information that you need to understand in order to get paid for healthcare services. But it also points out the importance of understanding what we call the quadrants within that revenue cycle. And you and I will definitely talk more about that. And you would think, well, what's the difference between revenue cycle management and financial management? And it's kind of, when you think about getting paid for your services, going through that whole process of interacting with your patients to get that payment, interacting with insurance companies to get those reimbursements. On the financial management side, you have to manage those finances. You have to have cost accounting. You have to understand all of the complex guidelines to make sure that your healthcare organization is financially sound.
Well, you've got major resources in the community and the people there at UF Health. I want to help us understand, because we're both part of the same organization with the NAHSE, the National Association of Health Service Executives. I've been a member 7+ years. You probably a member even longer. There's a reason why you are a part of that organization. What is the value that you believe you gain from it, and then the value that you bring to others to help them on their career trajectory?
It's a great question. NAHSE is an important organization. It's been an important organization to my career. And I'm able to be in this role because of others, my mentors and friends and colleagues who've given me advice and opened doors for me to be in this role, to get experiences, to get exposure to forward-thinking executive strategies, forward-thinking leadership opportunities. So I personally feel like I have an obligation to do the same by opening doors to young Black healthcare executives to have the opportunity to advance their career. And NAHSE is paramount and a strong partner in that. So I've been a member for a long time, and I'm deeply committed to that organization. But it is really about developing the future leaders of healthcare. So there's continued education, as you know, there's networking, but the contacts, I'm able to interact with some of the best and the brightest across the country, and being able to reach out to some of the most formidable leaders, past and present, is extremely valuable to my career. So I recall back when I was being mentored by a senior executive when I was earlier in my career, and I was getting so much rich advice. And I asked the question, what can I do to repay you? Because how they've helped me, not make as many mistakes as I would, or help me approach a conversation differently, help me to think about executive presence to point to this conversation. And they said one thing. They said, when you get in a position like I am, when I know you will one day, open the doors just like we did for you. And that is something that I take seriously. And I wake up every day on how I can develop other leaders so they can be in a position to have an opportunity like I have and have an impact on the community that we serve.
Awesome. And that's great. That's golden. I want to do something a little bit off script, as they say. I want you to talk to me as if I were a young executive. I've got all my accolades, I got my credentials. I probably got my first assignment, in the healthcare system. I'm eyeing the C-suite office, but I obviously need some mentoring. I don't understand what I don't understand, right? Because I haven't had the experience. If you would take, a few minutes to counsel me in a certain way, it's like, look, these are the things you really need to concentrate on first as a priority as you start to make that trek forward.
Great question. I always start with your purpose. You have to know your own purpose and what is your passion, and make sure the organization you're working for aligned with your purpose and your personal values. That's first and foremost. What is your purpose? And making sure you're not just coming here just for a job. You really have to care, and you got to focus on doing some of the intangibles. That's first and foremost. You also have to listen. And we've talked about, listening sessions, you round with purpose in the organization, but listen with your heart, because we are, like I said, we are in the business of caring. We're in the business of service, and you have to start there. Where is your heart? What's your person and your purpose and your passion? And then once you establish what your purpose is, and you let that be your compass, it starts with relationships, specifically around our physician relationships. You're in the healthcare business. The patients typically don't really care who the CEO is. They want to know, they care about the physicians and the nurses and the staff who deliver the care. And as an executive, your job is to support those people. Make sure you have a lens on strong physician relationships. That's first and foremost. Take the initiative. Raise your hand to take on extra assignments to help out things outside of your typical scope. And don't be afraid to take risks. But last and certainly not least, you have to have integrity in everything that you do, establishing trust and credibility. That's what I would tell a young executive, Grant.
I love that. I love that. And we talked a little bit earlier about the things you cannot learn from, just formal education, getting, certain diplomas and that type of thing. Because when you're in the field, you're on the field, you're in the system, you're working it, and you come across things, you need situational awareness. You need to understand emotional intelligence. You just said something so important, understanding the physician relationship and understanding the lens of the patient and the community, because they are community before they become patient. And what is the focus? What is the focus? What have you used in your career that has helped you to stay on top of these things, like emotional intelligence, like situational awareness, and the perspectives of the community?
Well, you have to continue to learn, and having a learning mindset is extremely important. And organizations like NAHSC is a great opportunity for that. ACHE as well, tapping into some of those resources. But one of the things that I've been fortunate to have in the organizations that I've been blessed to lead, there's a strong commitment to leadership development. And I've always sought out those opportunities, always been a reader and seeking contemporary leadership books that focus on some of the fundamentals or the leadership attributes, leadership success factors, like emotional intelligence, like powerful conversations, like leading and listening, and having strong teams. So having a learning mindset is extremely important. You have to take the initiative on that as well. But tapping into some of the organizations that we talked about, some of our professional societies, is extremely important. But also, you have to learn how to ask questions, right? Don't be afraid to ask questions. No one knows it all. But I ask questions, and I also go into the organization and talk to the people who are actually in the trenches doing the work. They will tell you what you need to know about the organization. They will tell you what they see as opportunities. They'll tell you opportunities, tell you what's working well. You use all that, and then with your experience, that will hopefully guide you to a continuous learning, and you'll be able to advance.
great question, Grant. As I mentioned before, one of the things, and primary reason why I came into healthcare is because I want to help others. And then hopefully that's, a testament for most people coming into healthcare. I always say you can make a lot more money doing a lot of other things outside of healthcare with a lot less stress, but we decide to show up every single day. And so, my brand has always been about helping others and kind of connecting with people.
I think for the person looking to come into healthcare, the young person coming to look into healthcare, someone maybe like me, Afro-Caribbean descent, looking to come into a profession, those opportunities are there. Again, leverage the great opportunity that we have in this country of access to education. Use that as a tool. It will help you. Don't give up even if someone says no. If you're focused, seek a mentor. Read about whatever it is that you're looking. If you have a goal, establish that goal. Read about it. Do your education. Do your homework, and more importantly, engage with others, such as the different societies that we're a part of that help get the word out. And making those connections and doing that, I think it'll be very helpful for that next generation of leaders and workers in healthcare coming in.
Well, I see you've done that. You have definitely advanced. You've taken on the mantle there in Jacksonville. We talk now, we're going to talk to the community, because there's things that are going on probably at the healthcare system that we're not aware of, that you might want to let us know about, so we can like, hey, this is great. Maybe we want to get involved. You always want to get involved with the healthcare system while you're healthy. How about that? So what are some things that are going on at UF Health you'd like to let us know about?
Well, we are a growing organization. We are in the process of renovating our emergency department and trauma center, state of the art. So we're looking to improve our facilities and renovate and expand so we can care for more patients in a more advanced, technologically sound facility. So we're excited about that. Also at our North Campus, which is just 10 miles north of our downtown campus, we are adding a new 124-bed inpatient tower. We're expanding our operating rooms. And then soon after that, we're going to be continuing to expand that campus. The demand for our services are at an all-time high. In addition to that, Grant, we are looking at expanding our ambulatory footprint. We were fortunate to open 3 new urgent care and freestanding emergency departments earlier in the spring of 23. And we are all now looking at further expansion to serve our growing community. Our health system recently brought in St. Johns County, UF Health Flagler, and St. Augustine, and we're partnering with them to make sure that our UF Health brand continues to deliver the quality of care that people are accustomed to. So we have a lot going on. It's about growth. It's about our people and continue to strengthen and improve the health of the region of Jacksonville and beyond.
Man, that sounds wonderful. Now I want to ask you, because I'm a technologist, right? I'm in information technology. You've been there for 25 years. Are you leveraging digital technology or digital transformation, or doing something different to expand and enable healthcare delivery from a different lens to kind of offset some of the challenges I've heard from others in the labor shortage or in finance, trying to lessen that gap between, revenue management. Is anything like that also taking place at your facilities?
Well, we're fortunate to be part of a leading academic health system. So, we're always innovating and learning and discovering new treatments, and technology is right there. So we're absolutely leveraging artificial intelligence, telemedicine to make sure that we're providing the most efficient care and giving our clinicians and our staff the most advanced technology, from equipment to digital appointments, video appointments. So we actually are leveraging all of that, and we're going to continue to advance that to better our organization.
Follow the Brand TV broadcast host, Grant McGaugh, as he visits with top executives and entrepreneurs to find out their secrets of success with their personal brand. Follow the Brand TV broadcast host as he focuses on brand development to build better relationships, bring value to your business, relationships, and career. You will enjoy listening to each episode that is tailored to speak to you directly. If you're looking for this type of clarity in terms of building your brand, you have tuned into the right station. Each episode will help you to shape a conversation in the 5-star BDM network of 20,000 professionals and become a springboard for your corporate engagement and business opportunities. Each guest will frame their story in the areas of personal branding, business development, career development, financial empowerment, and technology innovation. Grant McGaugh explains why he is the CEO and owner of his own professional career. Grant is an accomplished business leader and entrepreneur who wants to give back to individuals to grow their personal brand strategy. Tune in as he weaves his story about new possibilities, while to you exceed expectations. If you love storytelling, this show will make for fun.
Man, this is wonderful, wonderful. I'm gonna switch gears just a little bit because I'm intrigued by your history. I want to talk to me about where you grew up and why. What was that pivotal change in your life in which you chose healthcare as your path forward?
Well, it's a great question. I grew up in Oklahoma, and from humble beginnings. My family didn't have a lot of resources, and unfortunately, that led to a lot of health problems early in my family. And I didn't know I wanted to go in healthcare early in my career, early in my educational preparation, but I knew that I wanted to help people. And I went to undergraduate school to be a physical therapist, and that was born out of my affinity for sports and sports training. I thought I was going to be an athletic trainer. Then I got to undergrad, and I started to learn about the business of healthcare. And that was even more intriguing because I was always pretty good at math. So got to do some business courses, and I did the research on what the career trajectory of a healthcare executive could be. And I also interacted with a CEO that was a member of the NAHSE organization, and he shared with me about his experiences, and I never looked back. But it really started with, how can I help people? How can I improve the lives of others? And particularly drawn to safety net organizations, because a lot of the people that we serve look like and are face the same challenges of my family when I was growing up. And so I've always wanted to dedicate my time and talent to helping others, particularly the most vulnerable. So that led me to healthcare, and I've been fortunate to work with some great organizations that align with my values and my passion for helping the most vulnerable.
Man, I love that. I can see that. That was very, very enlightening. And I see the vision. You understand who's on the other side of the ball. You understand the situations that they're dealing with. We talk about, at the high end, situation awareness, emotional intelligence. When you're dealing with lack of resources and, the life is on the line, the outcome is right there. What do? Who do you turn to? So when you can turn to someone that has empathy, that understands and is doing what they can to help you, especially from a healthcare perspective, is high on the list of things that you can do to leave a lasting legacy as you actually help somebody. Because I know when you turn around and you look back and you go back to where you grew up in Oklahoma, and they ask you, and you have that grandmother that asks you, Patrick, what did you do to help somebody? You got a story to tell. I like that. I like that. That's very, very important. Before I leave you, I want to just give the mic to you. Is there anything that you want to make sure that you get out and speak to? Remember, we have a wealth of thousands of healthcare executives that are out here, C-suite executives, information technologies that are interested in healthcare. Just what would you want to leave us with as we move forward?
Well, Grant, first, I want to thank you for your service and communicating what we all are doing, giving me the opportunity to talk to you this morning. And I want to continue to encourage you to do just that. I would tell for those that are listening in the healthcare field, look to make a difference, and look around and make sure you're having an impact on those you serve. Take the initiative. Go outside the four walls of your organization. Don't just wait until they get sick and they need us. Go out and see what you can do to learn about the organization and be a strong partner to the community and the people in the community. And because we are a service organization, all healthcare, we have you see mission, vision, values on all of our walls. Ask yourself and challenge yourself and your team as to what are we doing to advance that mission outside the four walls of our organization. And also, don't always make sure that you're putting the people first. And that starts with the patients and the people who serve the patients. And I'm confident that you'll continue to make a difference in our field.
I truly believe that. We're going into 2024. We're going to have a great year. I can't wait. We've got invited. The NAHSE Florida got invited to Jacksonville next year. We're going to look forward to having an event there and really enjoying the community, because the hospitality there was fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great city, and we look forward to welcoming you. And I look forward to hosting and sharing knowledge and meeting a lot of strong and high functioning executives as we advance this community field, healthcare field together.
Excellent. Well, this has been great. I encourage everybody in the UF Jacksonville family. They can listen to all the episodes on Follow the Brand at 5-Star BDM. That is B for brand, D for development, infomasters.com. Excellent. This has been wonderful. And Happy New Year to you and your family.
Thank you, Grant. And thank you for all you do. Happy New Year.
Appreciate it. Welcome to Follow the Brand TV. I am your host, Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM. a 5-star personal brand and business development company. B for brand, D for development, and M for masters. Today, I'm going to take you on a journey through another deep dive into the world of personal branding and business development using compelling personal stories, business conversations, and tips to improve your brand. By watching the Follow the Brand TV series, you will learn how to differentiate yourself from the competition and build trust with prospective clients. As the saying goes, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So make it one that will set you apart, build confidence, and reflect who you are. Building your 5-star personal brand is a great way to improve your skills and knowledge. If you have any questions for me or any of my guests, please email me at grant.mcgaugh@5starbdm.com. Now, let's jump into our next episode on Follow the Brand TV. This episode is brought to you by
5-Star BDM, Brand Development Masters, is a professional consulting and advisory group keenly focused on business development services for the small to mid-sized business and entrepreneurs. Although every business is unique, they often share business development challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. Services include process improvement and operations, digital strategy and transformation, business intelligence, digital marketing, and personal branding. Our business and personal branding company has helped a number of professionals and organizations to optimize and grow. This results in more business, more opportunities, better reach, positive outcomes. Visit www.5starbdm.com today to learn more.
Welcome again to your #1 YouTube personal brand channel. I am Grant McGaugh. It's an honor for me to recap the story of a great personality who has consumed herself with executive achievement in the healthcare industry. She is a well-known former hospital CEO. She serves as a strategic advisor for RMP Group LLC. She formerly served as president and chief executive officer of 4 hospitals in Washington, D.C., Michigan, and Toledo, Ohio. When you have a goal to become an amazing CEO, you must learn how you are perceived by others. Focusing on your personal brand will help you to gain trust and cooperation with your team of high-performing executives. She understood this principle early in her career as she details her story. To better understand her accomplishments, I'll recap our conversation from the Follow the Brand podcast interview in episode 5. Our guest today is Miss Andrea Price. I asked Andrea what was the one thing that she wished she had known before she began her career. Her answer may surprise you.
Sure. I would say the one thing I wish I'd known before I began my career was how many times I had to prove myself over and over and over again. I had no idea. I was naive. I thought that if I had the educational attainment, if I had the credentials in my field, if I'd been successful in the positions that I had the privilege to obtain, then it wouldn't be any question. And that just didn't happen. And so I was a little disenchanted because I'm thinking, but I've proven myself. Why are you questioning me? I mean, people would look at me and say, oh, she's Black. They would look at me and say, oh, she's a woman. They would look at me and said, are you still in college? Yes, unfortunately or fortunately, when I started my career in DC, I looked very young. And so people assume, knowing nothing about me, that there's no way I could occupy the positions that I had because I was too young.
I felt her passion as she described the constant battle to prove herself continuously through her career. I then wanted to know how she did define her personal brand and how has it helped her to succeed in her career.
I would tell you, I always tell people, when people talk about brand, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. I learned that early in my career. And what I learned is when I wasn't around, people said a lot of positive things about me that I didn't know they were saying. When I started my career, I became known as a doer. And that's what the president CEO, I said, doer, what is that? He said, you get things done, Andrea. He said, you really do. And he said, I think people are going to always underestimate you because they're going to look at you and say, no, not her. And you're going to prove them wrong every single time. And at the time, you know, you're young, you're like, okay, Don, okay, that's what you said. But he was absolutely right every single time. And so, you know, as I progressed through my career ladder, it became known that I was the one who could execute on strategic priorities, work with teams, gather people, get them done, meet deadlines, exceed, whatever. And so that's what I was known for. So there are a lot of things I was able to do early on, young. You know, we would have these natural disasters. They would make me in charge of the command center. And everybody's coming in, they're like, who in charge? She's in charge? And I'm directing people what to do, pick up people, where to go. I mean, you know, it was just, you know, amazing. And so, you know, even when I was rounding on patients and family members, people were like, who are you again? And I'll explain who I am and why I was there. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I used to surprise the physicians. They would be rounding and they're like, Andrea Price, why are you up so early? I'm like, the last time I checked, a hospital never closed. Why are you up so early? So I would laugh and joke with them. And so people just, you know, it kind of known that I'm a person who would show up unannounced, no matter what time, no matter what day. And you know, just have a little fun with the staff and the physicians because they don't expect people at the executive level to do that.
What did you think of her answer? I like the fact that she knew her brand early and was able to use it to overcome perceptions. Naturally, I needed to find out how she got that first leadership role. Listen as she details her trajectory to the C-suite.
Sure. While I was at Children, when I completed my administrative fellowship, there was no guarantee that they would keep me on. But I worked like nobody business that 12 months to prove to them that they should keep me on. And they did. And so I became the assistant to the chief operating officer. There was a switch, the CEO left, and then the chief operating officer became the CEO. When he did that, he promoted me to like a staff role, like an assistant vice president of administrative affairs. It was still a staff role. I had no line responsibilities. And so then one day he called me in the office, Sandra, I think you're ready for line management. And totally unannounced, he started quizzing me. I'm like, Don, what are you doing? I thought you were coming to give me an assignment. You're interviewing me and quizzing me. And he said, yeah, I want to see if you're ready. And so afterwards, he said, I think you are. And so that was my first line management role. I had 5 departments reporting to me. And so now I had to learn, I'm not the person that's always doing. Now I have to delegate and work through others to get things done. And so that was a great learning responsibility of me because I learned people aren't like me. I'm one of these people, let's get it done. What's the deadline? What's the time? What do you need to see? And people aren't like that. Not that they can't perform, but they're not going to perform in the manner in which I do. So it was, once I learned that, I got promoted again and I got promoted again. And I think the pinnacle for me was when the chairman of the cardiovascular surgery department went to the president and said, I want to report to Andrea Price. And he said, excuse me, I don't think I heard you. He said, he said, you want to report to Andrea Price? He said, yes, I do. He said, she gets things done. When she say yes, she means yes. When she say no, she means no. I'm a surgeon and I like that. And I want to report to her. In fact, I'm demanding that I report to her. And he was like, okay. So the person he no longer reported to was not happy that he was reporting to me. And we had a great relationship. Everyone in his department were men. And so I said, if you're going to report to me, I want you to at least, when an opening comes, look for a woman as a cardiovascular perfusionist. And he said I would. He did, and he hired one.
I was most impressed how she was able to pivot from a doer to expert in working with people and creating great relationships. I asked Andrea about her unique skill that she leveraged again and again to help her climb the corporate ladder.
Sure. I would say it took me a while to realize this, but after enough people told me, especially those who were, conducting my performance evaluation and my teammates, I would say my superpower is my influence. I have the uncanny ability, I didn't know it at the time, to get people comfortable with where the organization wants to go, their organization goes. And so I would get them to create commitment around achieving those. And what I did was I did that through guidance and coaching. So for example, if you reported to me and there was a report that was due to me, I will review it and give you feedback, even though it was coming to me. And so people are like, you do that? I mean, my colleagues I was like, yes, because I want them to succeed. And they were like, oh, we never thought about that. And so then it became like he or she is on Andrea's team. So throughout the hospital, people would say, oh yeah, they report to Andrea. That's why they're so good. And so it just created this whole thing. And they were like, well, how do you get your people to do what you need to do? I said, first of all, you have to be authentic. And first of all, you have to set expectations. I said, I'm known in the hospital as setting very clear expectation and holding people accountable. And they like it. So, so I would say my ability to influence people to do what needs to get done.
Influence, guidance, and coaching were her keys to success. Have you done the internal assessment of yourself to determine your unique skill sets? Imagine that you are working with a famous doctor that would one day become a household name. Let's find out from Andrea about her 5 minutes of fame.
Well, I gave a little teaser earlier when I talked about my second semester of graduate school that I became really ill and I was told that I was going to die. Well, when I got to DC, and because I had an excellent physician, I decided I need to learn more about this disease that I have. And so I'm one of these people, when I don't know anything, I investigate and I research. And so I did. I found out there was a chapter. I joined the chapter, ended up becoming the chairman of the board. And because I was chairman of the board, the Lupus Foundation of America asked me if I would be their national spokesperson. So I became the national spokesperson. So as the national spokesperson, I represented them. So I used to have meetings at NIH with the famous Dr. Anthony Fauci.
No way.
And yeah, I used to go to his office. I had no idea who he was. Okay, so anyway, so we would meet at NIH, and then the executive director of the Allergy and Asthma Foundation of America. There were 3 organizations, I can't think of the third one, that would go and meet with him and talk about, well, what is the research, that's going to help people that have these type of diseases. As a result of that, I ended up going to a congressional budget committee representing the Lupus Foundation of America to advocate on behalf. It was recorded in the Federal Register and everything, my remarks, to advocate that NIH receive additional budget funds in order to advance research for autoimmune diseases, right?
Right.
While I was there at the congressional hearing, there were 2 other people waiting with me to speak. One was William Shatner from the Star Trek series. The other one was someone I really admired, Dr. Mary Frances Berry. Dr. Berry was the Secretary of Education under President Clinton. At the time I met her, she was the chair of the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights. And she was there because her niece was 21 years old and died from lupus. And she was there advocating money for the research for lupus. And so we got to talking. I'm thinking, okay, Andrea, just calm down, because I really admire this woman. And so, of course, she took the show. They bowed down to her. And I'm thinking, I gotta go speak after this woman, because they had us lined up. And so I did. I did it. And afterwards, she said, would you like me to drop you off at home? I was like,
Wow.
I was just gonna take the subway. And she said, sure. And we got to talking. She told me all about her knees, how devastated they were. She died from lupus. And she was asking me all these questions about me and lupus, because I was 24, 25, whatever. And, how I was holding up and all that type of stuff. And so that's something someone doesn't know. And then the last thing I was saying, because I was the national spokesperson for the Lupus Foundation America, I was interviewed on the Tom Brokaw ABC Evening News.
Is that right?
2 minutes. Now, it's only 30 minutes and usually get 30 seconds.
Right.
They gave me 2 minutes. They sent a whole production crew to my house in DC, followed me around, interviewed me, had my daughter who was 2 years old. They were fascinated that she knew how to read certain words, and they filmed her, and she was on TV reading to me. I mean, not reading, but, Apple, car, that's
Right.
how she's only 2 years old. How is she able to do this? I was thinking, I thought y'all were interviewing me about lupus and following me around, but it was all good. So though I would say that is something that very little people know about me.
Hey everyone, I want to thank you for watching this episode on Follow the Brand TV. Remember to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get our new episodes as they are released. Also, make sure to visit our website at www.5starbdm.com. Until next time, build a 5-star brand that people can follow. Tune in for our next show or click on our website at www.5starbdm/followthebrandtv. Thank you. Hey everyone, it's Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM and host of the award-winning Follow the Brand podcast and TV series, where I help you to build a 5-star brand that people will follow. My genius is personal brand development through intelligent communication and helping you achieve your business and career goals. I am a requested speaker on digital technology and brand development issues. I want to work with you to increase the value of your current opportunities while attracting new ones. Every one of you is unique, and we all share challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. As a super connector, I work with you as an executive coach to guide you along the complicated business and career development road, providing the enhancement tools and information you need to succeed. Together, I will help you succeed in today's challenging business climate. I will evaluate and measure your progress. Best of all, I am right alongside you every step of the way. Build the brand called you. Genius.